Hello everyone, it's PiggyBank bringing you another analysis from Neopunch Don't Get Hit. This is Losers Round 2. I was sent to Losers by Gore Magala, and in fact there was a Losers Round 1, but my opponent did not show up in time, so I moved on to Losers Round 2 without a fight. So my opponent here is PTW Magnet. Let's move on to the first game. And here I choose Hydra and Salamander by accident because I had just gotten off the fight from Gore Magala and I was still in anti-helix mode. So yeah, I forgot to switch back. But this isn't a terrible matchup by any means, so I just chose to, just try to focus on the game. And mostly it's just footsies. Fortunately for me, when he did corner me, he backed away. And unfortunately, that was attack didn't combo all the way. One of the hard parts about using Hydra Salamander. Now, because the Hydra's hitbox is so narrow, it is harder to hit my opponent. But it can also work as an advantage to make it go around attacks. And here I did manage to succeed in baiting out the rush attack, but I failed in deflecting the megawatt, so the first round's done just like that. So now I do go back to the roaster like I wanted and get the combo right away. Nice. Alright, so now with the roaster I should be able to punch through the popper, so I'm more likely to do preemptive attacks. And that kind of worked out. It didn't actually punch through the popper, but it's similar. So here I'm trying to respect the megawatt a lot more because that was giving me more trouble than I anticipated in the first round. And there I do punch through the popper. After the arm switch, that was pretty convincing, I must say. And Magnet goes for an arm switch with the boomerang. And I actually thought, oh, this should be easier. So we'll see how that turns out. Thanks to my having the roaster over his boomerang, my rush attack hit first. So that gave me a huge advantage. And that was a nice bait by Magnet, leading to into the megawatt. But it didn't really feel like he knew how to pressure me when I was cornered, so that was actually very helpful for my match here. So I just go for the grab, try to read. And there I saw that he was holding block, so I decided to just go for the quick grab. And fortunately he did not read it, so I got the win. And that's the first game. Now the second game is in the sparring ring. And I do see a weapon switch from Magnet, opting to go with the Tri-Blast instead. And this actually makes it kind of tough for me because this map has a lot of corners. Yeah, because of that, it's easy to get cornered. Let's put it that way. And it's actually pretty hard to interrupt the Tri-Blast, especially if my opponent jumps with them. So I have to go for blocks more, and there he gets the rush attack. It also doesn't help too much with the fact that I have the Slam Ender. I did hear from some people that it's really good at interrupting the Tri-Blast, but it's either I'm not good at it or it doesn't fit my playstyle, so I decided to go with the double roaster. My strategy now is to try to go for faster attacks. And try to jump over his Tri-Blast as well. And if he jumps, jump with him sometimes. And there we go. Oh, but the rush attack was sorted by his attack, which is unfortunate for me. And I read that he was going to do the rush attack from the grab. But unfortunately, my shield gets broken and he's able to get that grab. That was a good read on him, by the way, knowing that I would punch and he jumped over my punch. This is a really bad situation because I'm low on shield, so I felt the need to punch, and that's the opening he needed to get the grab for the win. So good game, PTW Magnet, and let's move on to the third game. That was a nice counter pick by Magnet. It's my turn to counter pick the stage, and I chose to go with Ribbon Girl. I thought, okay, he's probably going to not anticipate that I'm going to switch characters, which means that he is going to stick with the Tri-Blast. In that case, it will be much easier for Ribbon Girl to jump over the Tri-Blast, so that's what I chose to do. So for the third game, I have Ribbon Girl versus Magnet's Kid Cobra in Sky Arena again. That's the stage I chose to go to, knowing that the large stage is going to give me the room to move around. And as I anticipated, he's still stuck with the Tri-Blast. And I went with the double roaster. Let's go! And he decided to add one boomerang in there, okay. Not going to make it any harder in my opinion, but it does require some different ideas to get around the boomerang. So at this point, his tactic, I think, is to bait my jump with the boomerang and then go for my landing with the Tri-Blast and vice versa. You can also bait the jump with the Tri-Blast and then go for the boomerang. But the Sky Arena just gives me too much room to move around, and there I read his punch, so I just go for the rush attack right away. Alright, so he's about to get the rush attack here, so I'm giving him more respect now. But I do want to charge up my rush attack if I have a chance, so I do punch, try to make it so that it's safe. But he's actually punishing my punches quite nicely. And the first round is done. One round away from beating him, and I decided to go with the Slam Emitter for his boomerang, but that's when he chose to go with the double Tri-Blast, so that's kind of funny. But it's okay because I can still jump over the Tri-Blast, and I got the full combo, 400 damage. Excellent. Despite the fact that I would actually prefer the double roaster for this matchup, just the fact that I'm using Ribbon Girl is making it much easier to deal with the Tri-Blast either way. And that was really the only thing I could do, try to punch so that I can negate some of the damage. And I go for the block read again. And that's the second game. I think my counter pick was a success. So with that, I move on to losers round 3. Thank you for the games, PTW Magnet. And in the next episode, I'll be fighting against TCM Askew. So with that, I hope to see you in the next episode. Take care.